think playing against Manchester City with only 10 men doubtless changed all of your plans, had an impact on your performance. So what do you take away from this evening's performance? Well, sincerely, honestly, I would have to say that from what I saw, even in the first 20 minutes, I think we can come out of this game stronger, strengthened almost. I think in the first 20 minutes you saw our plan. We came here to play the game, to try and win duels. And the impression I had was that when we had the ball, then we could hurt Manchester City. Certainly that was the plan, and that's what I think we were able to do in the first 20 minutes. Last year, we had a man sent off in an important game, and then today in the Champions League against one of the top teams. Sorry, we didn't have any sendings off last year, but this year in a game like tonight's game, we had one sending off after only 20 minutes. But I have to take the positives out of it, I think. Positives out of that 70 minutes during which we played 10 against 11 against a top team. We had a great sense of self-sacrifice, I think, great deal of determination, a great desire. We didn't want to give up. We didn't want to just say, well, a defeat is inevitable. And I think that, we've prepared games whereby we've we've conceded goals by pressing a little bit higher, one from a throw-in almost, the game had changed once we had the sending off, and I think my feeling that I had pitch side was that the players, they knew what they wanted to do. They really wanted to try to test themselves against Manchester City. Ultimately, though, I don't think for either team we can draw too many conclusions from that game because, had the sending off, had the red card given to a Manchester City player, for example, it would have changed the game as well. I guess that you regret very much that you weren't able to play this game 11 against 11. You spoke about the way the team's developing and it's growing. Now, also on the refereeing, I mean, in the first half, the referee only seemed to blow his whistle to give Manchester City a foul. And, I think the VAR could have looked at something in the build-up to the first goal as well. I think there was possibly a foul on Bikuma in the build-up to the first goal. Well, I haven't looked at the sending off again, and but I don't really want to spend too much time talking about individual episodes or incidents, which obviously did have an impact on the game, but nevertheless, I think against Fiorentina, I got really angry with the players for their performance in the last 10 minutes. But today, the feeling I had, pitch side, was that, our team came here, was well aware of the size of the task before them, a very mature approach, and they wanted to play the game, wanted on an equal footing with Manchester City. And I think we saw that. We saw what the plan was in the first 20 minutes. The impression that I had was that once we had the ball, we could hurt them. I really felt that we could hurt them. When we had possession of the ball, we could hurt them. Then the situation changed, and you can't leave against Manchester City. I mean, you can lose against one of the top teams, they're a team which is very well equipped to win this competition, absolutely. So I think the important thing is that we learn from this game. And my takeaway is very positive, I have to say. We were fearless going out onto the pitch today. We came here to play the game, to play our game. And I think that, they were on it first 20 minutes, definitely. But then, we're only able to play 11 against 11 the first 20 minutes. But even in the rest of the game, we were very careful, attentive. We wanted to be on it. There's lots of sacrifices being made. We didn't want to look bad. We wanted to look bad. We didn't want to come out of this humiliated, because it could have happened. It could have happened. But I think that we can go home having lost 2-0. They could have pulled our pants down and could have beat us 5-6-0, but they didn't. And so, my players applied themselves. I don't think we deserved a thrashing, far from it, and we avoided one as well, given our attitude. Canale 21 and then Giordano, please. Hi. It was important not to be thrashed in this kind of a game, and that could have happened. But what I'd like to ask you, in light of all of these considerations, do you think that Napoli can finish amongst the top 8 at the end of the group stage? And then, what influence your decision to take Kevin De Bruyne off? Sincerely speaking, once again, what I continue to say is that, we need to enjoy our European journey. We need to enjoy the journey. This means that each and every game that we play in Europe, we need to make sure that we're proud of our performance, for ourselves, for Napoli Football Club, and for all Neapolitans. That's the basics. And I think it's difficult, of course. I mean, we saw what happened last year as well. Some of the big teams like Real Madrid, Manchester City, if I'm not very much mistaken, didn't finish in the top 8 last year anyway. But we know that we've got another 7 games to play, haven't we? And, we're well equipped, I think, to play those games. We're going to grit our teeth, and I think that in each and every game we want to get the best possible result, quite clearly. And we want to make ourselves proud playing in this competition, and make Napoli, the city, proud as well. Now, in terms of the substitution of Kevin De Bruyne, well, I was disappointed. But, destiny, it happened like that. We haven't, since I think I've been manager here at Napoli, we haven't had one red card. And yet tonight, it happened in our first game in the Champions League against a top team like Manchester City. It happened. Kevin De Bruyne, who'd come back home, he was coming home, and after 20 minutes, it was our destiny, I guess, tonight. Who knows why? And I was very sorry that I had to make that substitution. Kevin was coming back home, but I was also sorry because I knew that by taking him off, we were going to miss some of the things that he can do quite clearly. He'd come back home almost. He'd been here 10 years. I was very sorry that I had to make a substitution, but I don't really see that I had any other option other than to take Kevin off. And he understood, of course. He understood. I mean, he's a good guy. He understood why I made that decision. He's got his head firmly on his shoulders. But sometimes, these things happen. Destiny throws up these situations. Taking off Kevin De Bruyne off all people after 20 minutes. I'd thought of doing lots of things, but I might have to do lots of different things during the game, make lots of different substitutions, but not changing our setup, shifting Spinazzola to the right, bringing on a left back, bringing on a Matheus Oliveira, and then trying to strike balance against a really, really tough opponent like Manchester City.